sponsored by AICTE and Atal. So we have already finished the first session of wonderful people, Dr. Shambhalingappa, Dr. Shivaram. So thank you so much for giving this opportunity, and I assure each one of you that this will be the best 1 hour for you. Okay, and I have some requests. My request is, don't be too serious. Yeah, and all these technology problems now, 6 more months it will be accepted. Right, you're starting late, you're starting early, suddenly network there is a problem. Nobody will look for your professionalism for next 6 months. So don't worry about it, right? But after 6 months, these are the highlights of every meeting. Why did that happen like that? Can you remember your old, inaugural functions, old, big program that you used to do in your university or colleges? Okay, now you're seasoned in that. Like, you know, who will do the welcome speech, who will get the bouquets, how many students are required, who will go after whom. Whole marriage function is planned. Like Dr. Shambhalingappa sir was telling, like it's like a marriage being organized. Okay, so this was all accepted now. So you have become professionals there. But as far as online is concerned, I think 6 more months, people will accept you the way you are. So do all the mistakes that you can do. Not only you, me also. Like, because I have been last 4 months after March, that is the busiest time of my life. You know, I started feeling that I had never worked in my life. So many webinars, so many programs, so much of preparation, so much of reading, because online requires a lot of reading. We cannot just pass time here, right? So last 3 months, 4 months almost, was a wonderful time for me. I could really update myself in so many areas. Okay, and beautiful time. So accepting all the things that are going to happen, right? We may not be having access, we may not have an access to internet, or we may lose some links. Let's start something beautiful. Okay. And each one of you, you must have attended a lot of webinars. Okay, and this is one more webinar for you. Okay, and again, certificates have become very important for all the webinars now. Let me attend this, acquire that certificate, things will happen. My personal request, as far as I am concerned, don't go with that intention. Let's see like how beautifully we can make this, right? Okay, and I am a firm believer why we are connected. That's a big question that we need to answer. Okay, most of you from not from Karnataka, you're from across the country. Okay, you're enrolled for this, and today we are meeting face to face. Okay, of course, I may not be blessed to see all your faces, but you're blessed to see my face. Okay, I'm saying blessed only because I'm a firm believer that God connects right people at the right time for the right purpose. God connects right people at the right time for the right purpose. And purpose only He knows, not us. For us, this is a webinar, that's all. Okay, and part of the 7 days webinar, this is one session of 90 minutes. This is how we define it. But just go beyond, because we are all Indians. We need to think beyond. Go beyond and think, why are we connected? And people who stay in Gulbarga, like Kalburgi, I have come to Kalburgi so many times. Why is that we have not met? Some of you may be from Dharwad, we have not met. Right? We must have crossed each other, but we never interacted. But today, God said, hey, both of you sit together, discuss for 90 minutes. Okay, let's see something comes out of it. Okay, so He has a purpose for every connection. So the first beautiful thing human being should do is respect all the connections and be happy with all the connections. Morning, I was listening to Sheshadri sir. Okay, he was talking about happiness. Okay, if you can respect every human being, and if you can find that an element of supreme being in every human being, then nothing to stop. Every life will be beautiful life. Right? We think that you are different. I think that you are different. You think that I am different. It's not like that. We are all one. Okay. Let's not go into spiritual aspects now, but come back to the main issue today. Like, so my first request is don't be too serious, because see, I work with 64 companies. I train them. Before Corona, I used to travel for 22 days and interact with the corporates okay, institutions for almost 22 days in a month. Okay, I have understood one thing, and I train from, okay, I mean, blue collar workers till vice presidents, presidents of the companies. I mentor CEOs. Okay, one thing I have understood: serious people will never become successful. So don't be too serious. Don't be too serious. This is the first rule of the game. Can you understand? We are playing a game today. I am this side, you are that side. First rule of the game is don't be too serious. If you have to get something, you'll get it. Don't be too serious. But what is expected? Be sincere, my dear friends. Then moment I say sincerity, what is sincerity? Sincerity is not good morning, good afternoon, namaste sir, how are you sir, fine sir. Okay, most of the people try to show the soft skills and they say that this is my sincerity towards you. No, that is not sincerity. We want to be sincere to the whole world, but are we sincere to ourselves? Can you understand? So what is that sincerity I am looking for is anything you take up in life, anything, even including drinking a cup of tea, can you be sincere to it? What is sincerity then? Sincerity is being 100% complete and total in every act. Whatever you take up. These are the beautiful life lessons which have helped me in my life. I'm just sharing that with them. Don't expect that I'm a great teacher, great trainer. No, those are all, forget that biodata or profile. Right? I must have touched almost 10 lakh students, okay, teachers till now, but that doesn't matter today. What matters today is we have made a choice to come together. Can we spend this beautiful time, that 90 minutes, 100% complete and total? So I request all of you, since you have made a choice, you had all the choices, my dear friends. You could have spent this Monday morning, Monday afternoon in so many different ways, But out of that, you chose to be part of this webinar. I know you are stuck with so many other works, but still, when you make a choice, can you be 100% complete, total? That is being sincere with yourselves. So this is the first rule of the game. Unless you are sincere, don't expect big things to happen in your life. What is sincerity, sir? Being sincere with our choice. And today you have made a choice to be part of this webinar. Okay, be sincere. I'll also be sincere. Whatever problems I have, I'll leave it outside. Okay, I'm at home. I've informed my family members. Don't disturb me. Next 1 hour is very important for me. Okay, same thing you need to do. Whether you're in office or you're at home, you need to tell your people and say like, hey, this 1 hour is very important for me. Don't disturb me. I want to focus on this. There is something in it for me, right? That is how we should be sincere. Then beautiful things will happen. Clear? Okay. And post this, you must be going for lunch. Okay, wherever you are, even with that lunch, you need to be very sincere. Then only you'll be healthy. Can you understand? So the first rule of the game. The second rule is, between us, you are not important, I am not important. Between us, there is Saraswati, the knowledge is flowing. Okay, and unless you respect Saraswati, Lakshmi will not come. Please understand, my dear friends. Right? You have to respect Saraswati. So wherever you are sitting, however you are sitting, can you sit as if you are sitting for prayers? That is very important. We don't do that. We don't focus. Right? We have multiple things in our mind. And finally, we want to achieve something great. So unless you respect Saraswati, you're all teachers, great inspiring teachers. Don't forget this. Okay, there must be some students also, but my dear students, there is a teacher in you also. So unless you respect Saraswati, don't expect Lakshmi to come in your life. Okay, so focus. That is very important. This is the second thing. Okay, and third is participate. Can you understand? This is like churning of buttermilk, Buttermilk you churn, then only the butter comes. There are two threads, one this side, this side. So it keeps moving like, okay? And only when you churn like this, then the butter comes. If you keep doing it from one side, then the buttermilk will become sour. So if I keep talking, and you don't pull the thread from the other side, then don't expect the butter to come out of this. Maybe I am intelligent, you are intelligent, you are great, I am great. This is all our thoughts. But unless we churn, okay, unless we do that mantana, churning, then don't expect the butter to come out of it. Okay, so you want that butter, then convert that into ghee and enjoy beautifully. Then you need to participate, So whenever some questions are asked, okay, whenever I want to know what you feel, then you need to send it through chats, okay, and you need to message it. Okay, unless you message, okay, I feel that nobody is there that side and I keep talking. Okay, I may quit also, I may lose energy also. Okay, so the questions can be taken up at the end. Okay, keep your questions. Okay, don't ask questions just to ask questions. That is also there. Okay, ask questions because you really want to know. Clear? So this is what is the basic rules to play this particular game. Okay, and if you are ready, you can say yes. If you are ready for the game, say yes. Don't expect me to give lectures here, like, right? So keep talking, say yes. You are ready.
Yes, sir.
Very good, very good. Madhurima, great achievers, yes. Amin, yes, very good. You can only chat. If you start speaking, then 60 people, 70 people, will be a problem. Thank you so much, Ayesha. So much, Alia. Oh, all great people are here. Bridge Bhushan, all great names here. Selva Kumar. Okay, I don't know really what qualification is yours. You are a PhD, double PhD, or you're just an assistant professor. Okay, so when I take your name singularly, don't mind. Right? And don't start feeling bad. I'm double PhD and this fellow is calling me by name. I will never know. You will only suffer. I don't suffer. Please understand. Today, the relation, there is one thing common in between us is I am a teacher, you are a teacher. That's all. One more thing that is common in between us is I am a learner, you are a learner. The only difference that we have today is I am blessed to be a teacher learner and you are blessed to be a learner teacher. That's all. Otherwise, there is teacher in me, there is learner in me, there is teacher in you, there is learner in you. So please understand this and be very clear on that. Okay, right. So with this background, so shall we start? Okay. Now my first question is, what is that one thing we should stop in our life? So that we'll be successful. All positive side. I'm only talking on the positive side. Stop expecting, stop procrastination, stop negative thinking. Wow. Right, sir? Anything else? Telling me worry, attitude. Stop attitude. Tell this to your girlfriend. She exists because of her attitude, Stop your ego, right? Subtle ego is required. So little bit ego is required. Looking outside. Stop looking outside. Okay, if you're married, that you can do that. Otherwise, you should start looking outside. Right? On the lighter side. Stop comparison. Okay, so my take on this is very good. Gossips. Vignesh sir says gossips. Stop gossips. Very good, sir. Don't stop gossips. Don't just advise, but you need to do that also. Stop being a good listener. You want us to stop it or what like? Okay. Hey, others who want to really enjoy, you can switch on your videos. Don't be so confused here. You're all professors. Thinking of 500, 600 rupees per month. Okay, horrible. Then you can't be a great inspiring teacher. Yeah. Or else you don't have so much of, you feel so bad about yourself that you don't want to show your face. Okay, come back on the videos. I don't want this session to go just like that I keep talking and you keep listening there. Okay, see, unless you switch on your videos, you'll not focus, my dear friends. Please understand this. There'll be so many things coming up. You want to become multitaskers. And Indians, we are multitaskers. Can you understand? Long back, I'll just tell you, long back, Americans were very surprised. Americans were very surprised with Indian intelligence. Because 36% of doctors in America were Indians. 36% doctors. 32% engineers are Indians. 12% scientists are from India in NASA and all. Here, 22% teachers are from India in America. Okay, and every American department, including the government department, there is an Indian. Okay, and I don't see I always see a possibility that in near future, maybe 5-10 years, maybe this election, not next election, okay, there will be an Indian citizen who will become president of America. That is what I see. I'm very hopeful, right? There will not be any surprise for this. But still, see, look at every company in America, there is an Indian. Topmost companies of America are headed by Indians. Okay, take Google, take Microsoft, whatever it is. And even including some of the companies with which we interact, okay, I understand that even in a department, there is an Indian. And why this Indian is kept there? Because if you take a problem to an American, he'll not accept it immediately. He'll start analyzing it, saying whether it is his problem. But look at Indians, okay, if there is no problem, then there is a problem. If we don't have any problem, that is the biggest problem for us. Early morning, you get up, you come to the college, there is no problem at all. Okay, there is no problem in staff room. You start feeling a big problem there. Can you understand? So Indians, we are very happy with the problems. And in America, when we see departments, companies and all, whenever a problem is taken to an Indian, he'll accept it and say, hey, let me take this as a challenge. Because Indians, we have grown out of problems. Can you understand? Our whole life, if you look at your own life, problem is part of our life and we have manifested ourselves out of the problems. That's why India has a strength. But Americans, they don't conclude anything without any research. They said, what is this whole of Indians are managing America? Can we do a research on their intelligence? So they sent a team of professors along with their research guides and research associates, okay, sent a team of people to India, okay, just to understand what is Indian intelligence. So they came to India, stayed in India for 7 years, 7 long years they stayed in India, okay, and they did a research on Indian intelligence. What is the quality of it like? Okay, they went to rural areas, they went to cities, they went across the country, they talked to a cowboy, they talked to a most intelligent boy in IIT, right? They did all the research by their questionnaire method, psychometric testing, all these methods they tried. And finally, after 7 years, they came with conclusions. You know, like most of you do research and what is important is what are your conclusions, right? What are your recommendations? So after 7 years, they came with a conclusion, right? The first and the beautiful conclusion is, there were many, but the first and the beautiful is, they said an Indian boy includes girl also. Okay, Indian girl, boy, right? Indian boy can think 3 times faster than an American boy. Our mind runs so fast. That is the strength of Indians. But what do we do at home and at college? Keep quiet. And never ever expect an Indian child to focus, concentrate. Concentration is the wrong word now. Very difficult for Indians to concentrate. Look at yourself now. Look at yourself. You are listening to me, but you are already with so many thoughts. Right? Multiple things are happening in your mind. Okay, so only an Indian girl or a boy can take a book, okay, complete the homework while watching a TV along with a earpod, listening to a music. This is the capacity of Indians. So they said like Indian boys can think 3 times faster than an American. And this is proved. Like if you go to Tanjavur, Tamil Nadu, there is Brahat Ishwara temple, Brahadeshwara temple, Brahat Ishwara temple. Okay. And if you look at the temple, the sanctum, like, okay, the Gopuram, right? It is, if you look at this, your neck pains. So much of height there. And on that, there is a big, stone sculpture, like, which is kept there. I don't know, 1,000 years back, Raja Chola built this. How did he take it there? How did he take it there? Such a heavy thing, how did they keep it at the top of that particular Gopuram? No engineering, okay, no JCB, no computer science, right? But still, they could keep it there. Okay, that is one miracle. Okay, they say like they laid a road for kilometers and they rolled it and they took it and kept it on the Gopuram. That is what they did. Clear. But what is really, surprising there is, what is that really creates, okay, suspense there is, Right? Such a big Gopuram, but shade doesn't fall. You're all science people like, can you understand? Shade, Neradu anta heltivi Kannadadalli. Shade doesn't fall. Sun rises in the east and goes in the west, like he changes his, directions also, he changes his axis also, but still, such a big Gopuram, even if you keep a pen somewhere, okay, the shade falls. But as far as this Gopuram is concerned, shade doesn't fall. Like, how did these people build 1,000 years back, okay, such a Gopuram, and till today, scientists are struggling to know what it is. That is India, my dear friends. And we belong to that fraternity. We belong to that Gurukula system. But today we have forgotten. That is where today I want to touch on the topic, how to be being a masterful teacher. We have to become a masterful teacher. It's not just teacher, it's being a masterful teacher. Okay, so before that, so that's where I'm saying, like, so it's very difficult to focus, concentrate. I understand it. We are all Indians. Okay, mind suddenly goes into somewhere, okay, and comes back. But still, we can learn something. So be with me. These are the conditions with which we are playing this game. Okay. So my next question is, you want me to be good or honest? Answer it now. Both. Praveen Naik sir says both. You don't want to take risk. Depends. Madhurima says depends. Your mood, you decide what I should say. I have some objective, you have some objective. Most of you say both, right? Sir, let me say, like, being goody is always okay. Many people will say, come say good about teachers, good about education, go. But somewhere we need to bring in honesty also. And moment we are honest, beautiful things will happen, because truth is harsh, but it should be learned very fast. Yeah. So I looking at the people, the number of people say, like, let me be honest today. What is going to happen? Okay. So let's take this Corona now. Corona se mat darona. Okay. What are the 3 lessons, like 2-3 lessons that we learned from Corona? Most of you must have listened to this. What did I learn from Corona is, okay, I used to say, like, one day I will do it. Anything new that comes, I used to say, like, one day I'll do it. Now Corona has taught me that one day may not come. It may vanish anytime. This is the first learning that I had. Uncertainties are really uncertain. I always felt that one day I'll do it, one day I'll do it, one day I'll do this, one day I'll write a book, one day I'll do this. Okay, one day I'll take my parents somewhere, one day I'll take my dad somewhere. I always had this in my mind. Just last month I lost my dad. What all I had in mind that I need to do something for my dad, today it is not there. Even if I am capable, I want to do it, I am having willingness, but I can't take my dad somewhere. Just last month, August 10th, I lost him. Right? So my dear friends, one day I will do it. Please, this is the biggest lesson that Corona has taught us. Corona has taught us. So in your family, you want to do something with your parents, something with your children, something with your wife, okay, something you want to do in your own life, something with your students, something in your, do it now. This is the message Corona gave. Uncertainties are really uncertain. This is the first lesson that I have learned. Second beautiful lesson that I learned is, rich people took care of themselves and poor people are taken care by government. Me and you who are in the middle class, Corona gave us a message saying that you should take care of yourselves. If you take care of yourself, then you'll go into the richer section. If you don't take care of yourself, you'll go into the poorer section. So middle class families, we have to take care of ourselves. This is the second beautiful lesson that we learned. Clear? And the third beautiful thing is, anything can happen anytime. So learn the quality of acceptance. Right? It's not just expectations in life, it is acceptance also, which is beautifully we need to understand and inculcate in our life. Acceptance. So this is the third quality that I learned from Corona. Clear? You must have learned so many things, but don't forget, my dear friends, keep them in your life and keep moving ahead. Then beautiful things will happen. Okay, then in this Corona time, we need to pay gratitude to some of the people, like some beautiful people in our life. We need to pay gratitude. We need to thank them. And the first person we need to thank is the God. Right? Why? Because he saw that we are not part of that 40 crore people who are on the roads. We are blessed. I have seen those videos, heart touching, tears come out of the eyes when we see those children walking for 400 kilometers. Father took them for some time on himself, but he's also tired, so he starts dragging them. And you saw that one viral video where the child was crying, Appa, Appa, it is selling, but this fellow is pulling it. He can't do anything. They're all on the road. They don't know what to do during this time. They can't even go by travel and this one because there is no bus facility. They have to walk to their villages. 40 crore people did that. But God was so generous that he kept us at home, gave us food, shelter, everything. And we were happy at family. And we did all the women completed all their menus. Okay, and they prepared all the good things we enjoyed for 4 months. He kept us secured. So thank the God for this Corona time. That is the gratitude we should have. Now, why I'm asking you this is because unless we realize this, we will not appreciate the future. The second beautiful people like we need to thank is I am not what I am unless I am supported by so many friends, relatives. Okay, so many people came in my life. They made me what I am today. So this is the time to remember all of them and thank them. Last 4 months, how many people you called up and thanked them? Because I am not what I am just because I did something great. So many people supported me and made me what I am today. So this is the second people whom you need to thank. And the third and the most beautiful person you need to thank is yourself. Because when your mind said stop, don't do it, you did it. You kept a step. Whole of the people ridiculed you. They laughed at you, but still you kept a step and did something for your life. So you need to thank yourself for what you are doing. Okay, so these are the three people we need to thank. One is the God. Second is the people who really made what you are today. And the third one is yourself. And this gratitude, once it comes, that becomes a quality of a great inspiring teacher. Right? So please understand this. Unless we thank, unless we have gratitude, don't expect that softness, that empathy to come in your heart so that you look at the children and feel that, hey, I'm blessed to be a teacher. Can I do something for these children? We always say, let us leave a better world for the children. I don't go with that statement. Let us leave better children for the world. This is what we need to do today. Clear? So keeping these things in mind, so let's understand how to be a masterful teacher. Okay, and you are all masterful teachers. Don't think that I'm advising you. I'm only sharing my experiences so that if that can help you out somewhere, beautiful things will happen. Clear? Okay. So let me tell you now. I have a mentor by name Dr. Jayashankaran. Right? I'll only tell you stories like, right? I have a PPT presentation, but I don't think so. I'll show it. If there is a need, I'll definitely come back and show it to you. Right? Otherwise, I have powerful points. Let me share that with you. So I have a very good mentor. So please understand, one by one, you understand. I don't know which you'll implement, what you'll do. I'm not having any targets. Okay. I'm only sharing what helped me. That's what makes me to travel throughout the country and talk to the people today. Yeah. So please understand. The first one and the most beautiful one. I have a mentor by name Dr. Jayashankaran. Of course, all of you pray for him. He is affected by COVID now. He's almost 80 plus. Okay. And he's in the hospital. And I'm only praying for his recovery. Okay. I learned a lot of lessons as a teacher from this beautiful mentor. Okay. And he is the ex-vice chancellor of Kanchi University. He is on the board of NMIMS. He is the president nominee for Pondicherry University. He's on the AICTE. He is known as Bhishma Pitamaha of management. Okay, go to internet and check out his testimonials. Beautiful things will happen, Dr. Jayashankaran. And I am blessed to go for trainings along with him to train teachers across the country. Okay, and one day we were just interacting. Okay, and after the class, I think in Kochi, Kochi, we had a program for Rajgiri Institute, okay, of management. Not Rajgiri school actually, school teachers we trained. And then at the end of the day in the guest house we were sitting and we had a chat. We were having a chat. And that was the best time to learn from him because he'll be at his best. After the class, lot of energy flowing. If after the class you are feeling tired, then there is some problem, my dear friends. Can you understand? Don't look for feedback from students, right? If you really want to know the feedback, then tell them attendance is not compulsory. Just tell them attendance is not compulsory. Let us see how many children will come and sit in your class. That itself is a feedback. And the next best feedback is how much energetic you feel after the class. When you come out of the class, there should be a lot of energy flowing, lot of thoughts flowing. That is the best feedback for a teacher. That is a masterful teacher. Clear? So, in that chat, we were just discussing, Mahesh, teachers have to do this, do that, and all. They were telling. Then I told Dr. Jayashankaran, sir, you say so many things, but come to our rural colleges, come to our urban college. You have been into very topmost institutions in the country. You are into IIT, IIMs, NMIMS, Symbiosis, okay? And most of the vice chancellors are your students today, right? You have gone through very good facilities, but there are no facilities in the suburban areas, rural areas, okay? And you say like teachers have to do something. I was talking on our teachers' behalf. Then he said, Mahesh, I understand what you are saying. But remember what Dr. S. Radhakrishnan said. Dr. Radhakrishnan said, hey, listen to this, my dear friends. Dr. S. Radhakrishnan said, he said, majestic buildings and costly equipments can never be a substitute for a great inspiring teacher. I'll just repeat it for you like, majestic buildings and costly equipments can never be a substitute for a great inspiring teacher. But today, we feel that these are the requirements. Then I asked him, I was touched by it. Yeah, sir, buildings and equipments cannot replace a great inspiring teacher. I accept it. Then I asked him, sir, how do we know that I am a great inspiring teacher or so-and-so is a great inspiring teacher? How do I know that he's a great inspiring teacher? That was my question to him. Then he said, my dear Mahesh, a great inspiring teacher is one, when he starts teaching, his students and himself, both of them, teacher and learner, both of them, they forget their hunger, they forget their time. Can you understand, my dear friends? When a teacher and student both forget their hunger and they forget their time, then you become a great inspiring teacher. And each one of you sitting there and listening to me in this webinar, whichever part of the country you are in, my dear friends, you must have gone through this at least once in your life. With one particular topic, when you started teaching, you forgot that you are teaching. You are so involved into that your students forgot the time and you forgot the time. Your student forgot that it is lunchtime. I mean, they are not hungry. Okay, they didn't feel that hunger. You forgot your hunger. And if you have gone through that, repeating that experience itself is our work every day. Can you put yourself into something where you can say like, hey, let me take this class such a way that they forget their time and hunger. And this experience is more than meditation, my dear friends. And teaching is a spiritual journey. Don't forget this. And if you think morning 1 hour I'll do prayer and evening 1 hour I'll do prayer, rest of the 8 hours I'll do whatever I want, things will not happen. This is what my Guruji says, Sri M. He says, it will not happen. Whole day is your meditation. So can you take your class where children forget their time and hunger? These are the two things which will really ignite us to be a great inspiring teacher. Then I asked him, sir, how do we attain this? Next question comes, how do we attain this? Then he said, beautifully he said, you should understand, Mahesh. Understanding gives joy. And I was a bit confused the way you are confused now. I was also a bit confused. He said, understanding gives joy. What does he mean? Like, sir, please, sir, explain, sir. Like, then he explained with a very beautiful example. He said, Mahesh, think there is a snake in your home. Suddenly, snake comes in your home. Big snake. Calling the Sarpa. It comes in your home suddenly. What will you do? I said, sir, it's horrible, sir. A snake, that too. Okay. Calling a Sarpa, then we start running around. We jump on the bed. We take children, okay, and start shouting. Because we start shouting, people around my house, they will also come. Okay. Then he said, this is the problem. So when snake comes, you'll start shouting, you'll do this, you'll do that, you'll really scream, and the people around also will join. Okay. So then he said, this is a situation. And suddenly somebody calls a snake charmer there. Nearby there is a person who can handle snakes. Okay. So he calls up. So who calls up? He will start consoling remaining people, saying that, don't worry, he's coming, he's on the way, he's on the way. More he says that we become comfortable. Hey, he's coming. And we are saying, where is the snake? Snake has gone down there, let it sit there. Okay, but we are all scared. But snake charmer comes, and he comes on a bike and he stands. The way he comes, you should see like, right? The way he comes, he comes and he gets down. The way he comes like a film hero. Kicha Sudeep. He comes step by step and he says, where is it? Look at his way, his body language. Look at our body language there. We say like somewhere there in the corner, it is there. Then he says, don't worry. Move. We get his confidence. Moment he comes, what we get is confidence. So moment you enter the class, do students get confidence? Ask this question to yourself. You need to relate it to your profession, right? He asked me that, Mahesh, moment you go into the class, do your student feel confident? The way the snake charmer comes, you feel, all of us, we feel confident. Do you feel that confidence there? Then he comes, he'll go around, he'll take a stick and he'll catch hold of it. He becomes a hero, and everybody want to have a selfie with him and load it in their YouTube and get likes. But he's a hero. And he takes that and he goes out and everybody is cool now. 50, 60 people, okay, are scared of, this particular snake, but this snake charmer is very confident of snake. We are scared, he's enjoying. Then Dr. Jaishankar asked me, why do you think that snake charmer enjoys? I said, sir, he knows the snake, sir. He has caught many snakes. What does that mean? He knows about it, sir. He knows about it. That's where Dr. Jaishankar says he understands snake. When you understand something, you'll have ability. Hey, take these points, right? When you understand something, you'll have ability to manage it. On the lighter side, if you understand your wife, you'll have ability to manage her. All wives, if you understand your husband, you have ability to manage him. Today we don't want to understand, but we want to manage. Nahi hota hai. It will be like snake only. Right? So understanding gives ability to manage. Ability gives flow. And that flow gives joy. He said this beautiful statement, these 4 words. When you understand something, you'll have ability. When you have ability, there will be flow. There is a joy. Can you understand? Understanding gives joy. I was deeply touched by this particular statement. And he said, it not only applies for the snake, you applied for anything in this world. Anything. Moment you understand, then there is an ability. And once there is an ability, then there is a flow. When there is a flow, then there is a joy. So understanding gives joy. This is the statement. Never ever forget this in your life. You want to become a great, inspiring teacher, being a masterful teacher. I am in that journey. I have not achieved it. I have not attained it. I am still in that. That we derive at the end of the class is beautiful. Don't apply it only for your class or anything. Anywhere you apply it. For example, take cycle. Moment you understand cycle, you can develop the ability to ride that. Once you have that ability, first you have to understand it, then there is ability. Then you can ride it, then there is a flow. Let you leave the hand, you ride the cycle, you jump, you make it wheeling, whatever it is, then there is a flow and there is a joy. Look at the swimming. The person who is in the water, who is already swimming, he is enjoying it. But person who is outside, he's scared of it. Because that fellow understands water. It is not understanding swimming, it is understanding water. And if you're on the outside the swimming pool, and if you understand water, then you have ability to swim. When you have ability to swim, then there is a flow. When there is a flow, then there is a joy. Then I asked Dr. Jayashankaran, sir, to be a great inspiring teacher, what we should understand? He said, Mahesh, to be a great inspiring teacher, you have to understand 3 things. What are these 3 things? One is your subject. Second is your student. And third is the skill. 3 yes. You can write down, my dear friends, if you want. Or you can store in your memory, wonderful. But whatever you get, take it. I am telling my life lessons. I am not telling anything from the books or anything. I just tell books. For me, I read books. I am not saying that. I write books also, right? But I interact with the people. For me, my network is my net worth. I got connected to beautiful human beings on the earth. Every human being taught me something or the other. Like Dr. Jayashankar. I'll tell you one more instance about a barber who taught me something great. Okay, be open to learning. Be open to learning. Don't think that only this fellow can teach us something. Don't get stuck with the else, right? So he said 3 things you need to understand in life. One is your subject. Second is your student. Third is your skill. And if you understand these 3 things, then you'll have ability in those 3 things. Then you'll start flowing in your subject, flowing with the student, flowing with your skill. Then there is joy in teaching. That is how you can become great, inspiring teacher. That is a masterful teacher. Then I asked him, okay, sir, now subject, what do you mean by subject actually? Each one of you are expert in your own subject. That's okay. Subject, there should be a lot of curiosity in your subject. Lot of curiosity. I'll quote you something like, you know Dr. C.V. Raman. Dr. C.V. Raman. Great scientist, mathematician, great person, physician, like, okay, wonderful. I mean, you know the story of him, like, because you're all science people, you must be knowing it, but just let me remind whatever I know, right? Lord Rayleigh got the Nobel Prize. Lord Rayleigh got the Nobel Prize because he found out why sky is blue. Why sky is blue. Okay, and he was awarded the Nobel Prize. Whole world was happy and everybody was congratulating him. But there was one person by name Dr. C.V. Raman. C.V. Raman, not doctorate, but C.V. Raman. He saw this article and he was also doing his own research and he found out, like, hey, sky is blue. Then he immediately got a question in his life, one simple question. What is that question? If sky is blue, then why sea is blue? Akasha neeli agidre, samudra yak neeli ide. If sky is blue, why sea is blue? This question, see, anybody will get there, like, but who will have courage to write a letter to a Nobel laureate? You must have got so many questions in your life. That is why I asked, what is that one thing we should stop doing in life? I asked that question, but I didn't answer that. What is that one thing you should stop doing in your life? The answer is, stop stopping yourself. Let me repeat it. Stop stopping yourself. Can you understand? See, now, whenever I ask you a question, many people, you want to type a message and send me there. Write the answer. But most of you will stop yourself. Why I should write it? Some of them wrote, same answer. My answer is also same. Hey, my dear friends, the same answer is same, but you are developing a very bad quality of stopping yourself. Why people are not successful in spite of their intelligence, in spite of all that inquisitive in their mind, in spite of all that blessing is, they stop themselves. So stop stopping yourself. So C.V. Ramanji, he was one kind of person like that. He didn't stop himself. Immediately he wrote a letter to Lord Relic, asking him, simple question, sir, if sky is blue, and I appreciate your research, I appreciate all that refraction and all that, I appreciate, and I congratulate you for taking this Nobel Prize. Okay, but I have a question. If sky is blue, then why sea is blue? So wrote a letter to Nobel laureate. Sometimes, suppose we have to write a letter, what all this mind will create, sir, problem? It will say like, whether he will read it or no, he's a Nobel laureate, I am from India, I am from Kalburgi. Okay, people around my house only don't know me. How that fellow will so all these thoughts will come in between. This is say, sir, there is 6-inch playground which decides our life. And that is where we play all the time. What is that 6-inch playground? That decides our life. Don't have negative thoughts. 6-inch playground. Okay, that is between 2 ears, you know, this mind. This is whole life is here. Okay, and we stop ourselves. So, but C.V. Ramanji, he sent a letter saying, if sky is blue, then why sea is blue? After many days, a letter came from Lord Relic. In one sentence again, it said, it is just the reflection of the sky that makes the sea blue. A letter from a Nobel laureate coming back to C.V. Raman. Okay, and each teacher, all of you, like, you should read C.V. Raman. You should read C.V. Raman, especially since you are from the science field, you'll understand better. I'm not from the science field, but still I understand what I need. Okay, so since sky is blue, the reflection of it makes the sea blue. That was the letter. I mean, answer came from Lord Relic, the Nobel laureate. When a Nobel laureate answers your question, do you think you'll question it? No, we never question it. We accept it. But C.V. Raman didn't accept it. He said, I don't accept this. So he started his research on it to find out why sea is blue. And finally, he came out with Raman effect. My dear friends, in your subject, how many times you questioned? Only when you question, you'll understand better. Only when you question, you'll understand better. But we don't question, we just accept. That is what British system did it for us. Gurukula system, Gurukula, there was a lot of questions, only questions. So when British came into this country, they stopped 2-3 things. One is they stopped us thinking. They thought if you keep thinking, because we're all intellectual souls, if you think more, we can create havocs in the whole world. So they created a system where they saw that we don't think. Second is we don't question. Right? So that is what they did, and we are all victims of it. So today we don't question, we just accept. He has said it, done. Who has said it? Done. Government has said it, accepted. Okay, but in your subject, can you question it so that you can trigger questions in the minds of the students? Subject is very important. Clear? Because why I am saying this, love here is love for the subject. Can you understand? Okay, so the next part is student. Dr. Jayashankaran said, understand your students. When it comes to students, what kind of students we have? Okay, most of the times we start judging them, you know, we start judging the students. Let me share you one experience. I had to Bangalore, one of the colleges. This I am talking in context of students. Okay, I was invited for the first year inaugural ceremony of their BBA college, right? Inaugural session, but I couldn't go. They called me again in the second year. I couldn't go. Third year, I accepted it. Okay, because of my own schedule, finally I accepted it and went to Bangalore. I'll not name the college, but I went there. Then naturally, after 3 years, consistent effort. I have accepted their invitation. There is a huge welcome program. Okay, it doesn't touch me like actually, right? But still we have to go through all that. Like, okay. Then I just walked in, all the students standing in this row, everybody is clapping and somebody garlanding and finally taking us inside. Okay, then met the principal, then they took me to the hall. It was like an auditorium, you know, like small amphitheater. Okay, teacher is standing down, students are sitting up. Anti-Gurukul it is. Can you understand? In Gurukul, teacher sits up and students sit down. But here it is anti-Gurukul now, right? Students are sitting up and teacher is standing in that particular area. Like, so I went there, then inaugural function. Okay, one beautiful lady introduced me. Okay, and I was also a bit touched, but still I didn't take it to my head. Then my session started. For students, it is hardly 2-3 minutes where I can grab their attention and keep them on the track because I understand them. That's why I'm saying understanding is very important. If you don't understand today's youth, if you keep on talking bad about them in the staff room, saying that, hey, today's youth are like this, they are not serious. Okay, don't do that, my dear friends. If you understand them, there is beauty in it, right? So then my session started. Everybody was in act attention. Okay, everybody looking at me, everybody in my eyes, right? And flow was wonderful. Beautiful things were happening. And I was talking about, okay, how to take up corporate career and how do you approach them and how to go for the job, what all they look into. So that was a session for that. That is why they called me, because they were in the final year. Okay, and since I work with the corporates, I can do fantastic work there. So then my session started. Meanwhile, what happened? One boy in the corner on the right side, somewhere in between, he was creating a lot of problems. He was pulling the hair of the next girl. He was just pushing the other person, taking a small piece of paper, and when I'm turning this side, he's throwing it. See, attention will go anywhere, like he's throwing there. Sending a message, okay, and the other girl says, keep quiet. All others are interested in my class, but this fellow is just creating a problem. Can you understand? I was also, see, human being there. However intelligent, however great we are, ego gets hurt. And my ego was also getting touched. Like, I am successful trainer for such a long time, and this boy, small young boy, okay, touching my ego, and he's disturbing my class. All these thoughts were going on in this mind. 6-inch playground. Okay, at the same time, I had multiple thoughts whether I should send him out of the class or I should keep him in the class or shall I make him to get up and again say it. All these methodologies, because methodologies are taught by different trainers, what to do when class is getting disturbed and all that. Like, so I was thinking what strategy I should adopt. At the same time, I'm talking in the class. Okay, then disturbance. In between, I thought, okay, let me wake him up and make him to stand and ask him a question. This is what is there in your mind also, right? So I just asked, hey, get up. You have any problem? I asked him. He said, sir, no problem, sir. Continue, sir. End of it. I have to make him to sit again. Okay. Then I continued. Luckily, tea break at 11:30. Right? 11:30. So everybody was touched and everybody went for tea, and teachers came and called me, sir, you also come for the tea. Then I requested them, so sorry, I'll not come out. Please send me a cup of tea here. I want to be alone here for a few minutes because whole night I have traveled. I told this lie, but I was in those thoughts, what to do with this boy. But I told a lie and I told them, no, you go out. I am a bit tired, so let me sit here and have a cup of tea. Like, so they sent me a cup of tea. Then I did my prayers. I started praying to the God and said, like, are you testing me? Are you testing my ego? Why this boy is behaving like that? There must be some reason. There must be some reason that you connected me to him and he is disturbing the class. There must be some reason. So please help me. Please work through me so that something good will happen. That was my prayer. Alternative, what I had is I could have sent that boy out of the class. I would have taken the class. But I believe God connects right people at the right time for the right purpose. And I can't go against that belief. And if this boy is connected in my class, there must be some reason. So I just prayed, had my cup of tea, came back to the class at 11:30, the class started. 11:45, the class started. Every student came and they were all happy. Teachers came in advance and said, sir, all students are happy, sir. Wonderful session, sir. We are so lucky, sir. You should have come earlier only, sir. All these good dialogues came. Okay, I said, wonderful. Thank you. Okay, then I started my second session. I don't know what happened, my dear friends. Okay, instead of talking about job skills, corporate skills, I started talking about parents, father and mother, and their contribution in your life. Okay, and I told how parents struggle and how they take care of you. This session, when it started, okay, whenever I use the word mother, this boy gave attention. Please understand this. Why I'm telling you this case study is, okay, we are beyond all this, my dear friends. Don't get stuck to your subject. Okay, you need to look at the student also. Right? So whenever I use the word mother, whenever I said mother, this boy got attention. Right? He used to look at me. Okay, I understood there is something in this. God is already working. So I continued, who is the mother, what happens, how you should take care of her, how you should have a dream for her, how you should utilize your first salary for her, all these things. So next 1 hour, though I changed the topic, subject was not important there. There was a context. So I changed. There were tears in the eyes of all the children, especially girl children. They started feeling it. Okay, all that, because I have a lot of stuff on parenting. I do a lot of trainings for parenting. So I got that. So I just continued. And 1.5 hours over again. 1:30 the session. Okay, and I said, all were in very bad mood or they were into realization mode. I said, okay, let's stop now. Let's go for lunch. Okay, don't take it very seriously, but be touched. Okay, stay touched and understand your parents, but go have lunch, come back by 3 o'clock. Okay, this was my message. Everybody got up. Okay, first session, everybody got up in a very beautiful energy. Second session, they were a bit low because they were all thinking, realization was happening. And then this boy who was sitting there, I mean, he got up, he came running, okay, and he fell at my feet and hugged the feet. Can you imagine? And he's sobbing, like he's crying. This crying is so loud that he's crying. And everybody was shocked. Manu, his name is Manu. How is it Manu can cry? He has never cried in the college. He has made so many people, so many professors to cry in the college, but he never cried. But this fellow is crying now. Then I took hold of him and I made him to get up. Then he hugged me. He wanted somebody to hug. Then he was weeping here. Whole shirt was wet. Then everybody was trying to console him. Then I told everybody, please go out. I'll take care. Okay, he needs to talk to me. Then everybody went out. Okay, then I made him to sit. I gave him a glass of water. Okay, then I asked, Manu, do you want to say something to me? Do you want to say something to me? Then Manu said, he didn't utter any word. He said, then I asked, okay, take your time. Okay, tell me if you want to tell me. If you trust me, you can tell me something. Then Manu said, thank you so much, sir. I asked him why. Why do you thank me? He said, sir, because you gave my mother back to me. I was really touched. Hey, why? What happened? Are you missing her? I had so many thoughts in the mind. Whether she's died, she's there, she's not there. Because Bangalore, don't know what all complications. So many thoughts in the mind. But he said, thank you so much for giving my mother back to me. What happened? Like, are you missing her now? Yes, sir, I'm missing her. Okay, where does she stay? Like, no, sir, she stays in Bangalore. Why? You are also staying in Bangalore. So today evening you go meet her, finish it up. Why are you crying? No, sir, she stays separately and I stay separately. Then I asked him what happened. No, sir, let me tell you, like, Manu's mother, when she gave birth to this boy, okay, his father expired on the same day. And the whole family thought this boy is inauspicious for the family. And the concerned Swamiji or whatever it is, he also said that he's in a wrong nakshatra or whatever it is, okay, and that is why father died. So neither his grandparents related to his father nor mother's side, both accepted them. So Manu's mother was sent along with this child outside. So she started doing her own work. Okay, she started washing utensils, started stitching, doing, and took care of this boy. And both grew together. Okay, And when they became, see, when Manu became a college student, they became like very good friends. Without them, he didn't love anybody in the world. They were in love, actually, mother and son. That was the love. Things were happening fine. Then I asked Manu, what happened? Like, you are a very lucky boy, yeah? Like, no, sir, my mother is great and very good, but what happened? No, sir, now I am away from her. Why? Nice, sir, because she liked somebody and she got married. Can you understand this dynamics? She liked somebody and she got married to him. Then I said, what's wrong? No, sir, I understood it today, that nothing wrong. The way I have choices in my life, she also has choices in her life. But all these days, I thought he's the person who snatched my love from my mother. That's why I moved away from my mother and I was staying with my friend's house. And what happened today? Then he said, so today I understood the way I have choices in my life, my mother also had choices. She had so many sacrifices done and I have to sacrifice this. So what will you do now? I asked Manu, what will you do now? No, sir. Next class I'll not attend, sir. I got what I want today. Okay. I'm not interested in anything else. Please allow me to go to my home. I want to meet my mother, touch her feet and accept her the way she is. And I said, go ahead. Very good. So he hugged me again. I took him outside. Okay. Then all teachers and students, they are not gone still. They are still standing there. What happened? Then this fellow does Shirasashtanga Namaskara to all the teachers and say, sorry for troubling all of you. All these years he has troubled all the teachers. Before going out of that room, out of curiosity, I asked him, hey Manu, it's okay like your mother had this and you, all this is okay like, but why did you disturb my class? Then Manu said, sir, sorry sir, I didn't disturb you, sir. It's that I disturb every teacher's class. And I'm very happy when he becomes angry. And I'm very much happy when he sends me out of the class. I asked him, why is this? Why is that attitude you have like? No, sir, I was very angry about teachers. What for? No, sir, my mother, she liked somebody who's a teacher. Can you understand this dynamics here? She liked some teacher and because of that teacher, his life is spoiled. That's why he wants to spoil every teacher's life. Can you understand this dynamics? You think you are an expert in your subject, but that student doesn't study in your class. There must be some story behind that now. Have you any time explored it? That is why teacher is called a mentor, a counselor, a guide. Not job holder. We are not job holders. We are teachers. Can you understand? So this is where you need to understand. So this is a small example. I have so many examples like this. That's why I say teaching is a joyous profession. Every day I enjoy. Every day I enjoy. Right? So please understand your students. Please understand your students. There is a story behind everybody. Don't talk ill about that student in your classroom or in your staff room. Right, sir? Please understand and try to understand what he is. Then, if you explore, then he can give me that ability. Then that flow will come. Then there is joy will come. That is the contribution you need to make. Once you get this, my dear friends, nothing can stop you. That is where you need to understand your subject. I'll not go deeper into your subject part. You are experts, you continue. But as far as student is concerned, look at what they are. What are today's children like? Research says, my dear friends, research says 64% of 8th, 9th, 10th. What is that? This is the research. And as a teacher, you should know 64% of 8th, 9th, 10th children, they watch porn movies today. Forget your engineering students. They watch porn movies. And look at their mind, how fertile it is. Like when they watch something, it stays with them for a long time. Today at this age also we get attracted. We see some beauty somewhere. Let us be honest. That's why I said, let me be honest. Right? Today a film actor does some dance there. We also feel wow. Our mind also gets corrupted for next few minutes. Most of you see YouTube and you see some good things and bad things today also. This is all okay. Our fertile mind, there is no fertility inside. It's okay. Only we can imagine now. But look at the children, 8, 9, 10 children, 64% of them, they watch porn movies. And after watching a movie in the night, if they come and sit in the next day's class, what will happen to that class? Do you think they will focus? Do you think they will focus? That is why teacher is valued in a different way, sir. We have a bigger role. We are not just government officers, or we are not clerks in a bank, or we are not something like that. We are teachers. That is where a beautiful novel, it is said in Unto the Last. Read this beautiful novel, Unto the Last by John Ruskin. In that particular novel, he says, there are 5 noble professions in this world. 5 noble professions. Okay, and the first one is a soldier. Second one is a doctor. Third one is a lawyer. Fourth is a priest. Fifth one is a teacher. He says there are 5 noble professions in this world. Then he further explains why these are noble professions. A soldier is a noble profession because when we are celebrating Deepavali here with artificial bombs and all that, crackers, this soldier is standing in the borders facing the enemy's bullets, forgetting the whole world. Like he'll forget his own world is his family, he'll forget it. I'll just tell you about soldier. Like once I had been to Ooty. One of my friends stays there. Okay, and he's a colonel. Since I am from Sainik School, Bijapur, so naturally a lot of my friends are into armed forces. So I had gone there. Then my friend said, "Hey, Maya, kuch baat karo. Mere soldier ko kuch baat karo." So soldiers were all sitting there. Okay, and he asked me, "Speak something." Then I said, "Main kya baat kar sakta hu? What they do, I can't do, right? So I am not eligible to talk to them." So I just wanted to know. I just asked them one question. I asked them one question in Hindi. "Hey भाइयों, आपको बहुत बुरा कब लगता है? When do you feel very bad, very sad, very bad? When is that you feel very bad?" Then nobody is answering the question because boss is sitting there, colonel. They have been taught not to talk anything bad in life. हो जाएगा सर, करेंगे सर, मरेंगे सर. These are the words. And I am asking an emotional question. आपको कब बुरा लगता है? Then they said, नहीं सर, हमको बुरा नहीं लगता सर. Then I asked them, तेरा अगर बॉस आपको स्कोल्डिंग करता है, I mean they scold you like anything, use very bad words, do you feel very bad? नहीं सर, बॉस को स्कोल्ड करना चाहिए सर, बहुत अच्छा लगता है सर, बॉस बॉस है सर. These are the words. This is how they respond. Then I asked them, नहीं यार, अगर तुम्हारा दोस्त, बहुत जिगरी दोस्त जिसके साथ तुम रहते हो बैरक में, वो अगर एनिमी के बुलेट से मर गया, तब उसका बॉडी देख के आपको बुरा नहीं लगता? I asked him. Then he says like, नहीं सर, वो कहाँ मरा है सर, वो शहीद हो गया सर, हमको भी शहीद होने का सर. यार, I was very curious to know when do they feel bad. They are human beings, sir. They should feel bad somewhere. नहीं, तुमको टाइम पे खाना नहीं मिलता, कभी कभी बुरा लगता है क्या? नहीं सर, खाने के लिए पैदा नहीं हुआ है सर, हम देश के लिए पैदा हुआ है. Look at the words here. Like, if teachers start talking this language, this country will get transformed, right, sir? But look at this. So finally, I was a bit stuck, like, but I knew that there is something like. Then I told them, भाइयों, आप जो बोल रहे हो बहुत बढ़िया है, लेकिन सच बोलो, कभी तो बुरा लगता है ना, तुम लोग आदमी हो ना, ह्यूमन बींग्स हो ना, कभी तो बुरा लगता है आपको. Then they were hesitant. Then my friend who is a boss, colonel, he also said, hey, सच बोलने का, बोलो, जो लगता है बोलो. उस time then one person got up. He said, सर मैं कुछ बोलूं? हाँ बोलो, उठो. सर क्या होता है, जब 1 साल के बाद इधर हम रहने के बाद कभी कभी हमको छुट्टी मिलता है, कभी कभी. Sir, look at the blessings that we have as teachers. We have छुट्टीज and we have more salary than them. कभी कभी हमको छुट्टी मिलता है सर. 1 साल के बाद जब मैं घर जाता हूँ सर, और मैं सरप्राइज देने के लिए घर ऐसे ही जाता हूँ और दरवाजा खटखटाता हूँ. When I knock the door and my son opens the door and he runs towards my wife, mother. वो मेरे बेबी के पास दौड़ के जाता है सर और बोलता है कोई अंकल आया है करके. And that is the saddest moment of our life, sir. Can you understand, my dear friends? The son, his own son is telling his uncle, that means the child has forgotten the father itself. So many, one year they come. And he said, sir, बहुत बुरा लगता है सर, खुद का बच्चा, मेरा खुद का बच्चा मुझे अंकल बोलता है सर, बहुत बुरा लगता है सर, इसके सिवा कुछ नहीं सर, हम सब ठीक है सर. So can you understand? That is what is a soldier. That's why John Ruskin says soldier is a noble profession. Then second is a doctor. Doctor is a noble profession because if a heart surgeon is there, he will not look whether he's rich, poor. Nowadays, this is all happening. Don't worry, I'm talking of good doctors. He will not look for rich, poor. He is only looking at heart. He want to clear it. And he's a professional, right? So today doctors have gone haywire. Okay, don't go into them, right? Right. So now doctor is a noble profession. Then priest, the spiritual powers. Otherwise, we would have become animals. Because we have come from that, na? We have come from Mrugatva, Pashutva, Manushatva, Daivatva. These are the 4 stages of life. Mrugatva, Pashutva, Manushatva, Daivatva. We have completed Mrugatva and Pashutva. Now we are into Manushatva. What is our destination now? Manushatva to Daivatva. That is what Swami Vivekananda said. Man is a potential God. Man to God. That is what is our journey actually. Right. But if there are no spiritual people around, then we would have gone back to Mrugatva. Today also it is happening. So priest is a noble profession. Then the lawyer is a noble profession because there will not be any law and order. Okay, if there is no lawyer. Good lawyers I am talking about. And the last one he says, teacher is a noble profession. Then he further writes, out of these 5 noble professions, there is one profession which is noblest of the noble professions. Noblest of the noble professions. And what is that? He writes, it is a teacher. Then he questions himself, why teacher is the noblest of the noble profession? He further writes, teacher is the noblest of the noble profession because to become a soldier, there is a teacher soldier. To become a doctor, there is a teacher doctor. To become a priest, there is a teacher priest. To become a lawyer, there is a teacher lawyer. Law university. Right? To become a teacher, there is a teacher teacher. That's why all these professions are created by a teacher. That's why teacher is the noblest of the noble profession. And my dear friends, we are blessed to be part of that profession. And never ever think that you are appointed by your principal, your management, your government. No, you are not appointed by your principal, government or whatever. Just look back. Look back your degree days. Are you the most intelligent person in your college? The highest scorer in your college is counting cash in the bank. He has become a clerk. You freaked out, you enjoyed. Most of you, I'm telling, I'm not saying everybody. You freak out, you enjoyed, but still you are blessed to be a teacher because there is an element of teacher in you. And God has a lot of hopes on it. And every time you take a class, this is what I do. Whenever I take a class, I see that there is one empty chair where I always feel my guru there, my teacher there, my God there. He is also attending my class. Then I can do justice. So you have been blessed to be a teacher. I am being blessed to be a teacher. So let us see that we transform ourselves from being a teacher to be a masterful teacher. And this is what is required for the future world. Okay, so let me conclude now. Simple things, my dear friends. Corona has taught us a lot of good lessons. Thank each and every one. Thank your God. Thank your people. Thank yourself for being what you are today. And being a teacher is a blessing. It is not job. Please understand. There is a difference between job holder and a teacher. And to become a great inspiring teacher, what interaction I had with Dr. Jayashankaran, it says you should understand. Understanding gives ability. Ability gives flow. Flow gives joy. And what do we understand? We should understand subject, student, and skill. And when you understand this, then beautiful manifestation of a teacher becomes, and that is where we are interested in, because we are in the noblest of the noble professions. And don't call yourself as guru or something like that. All that is there. In our ancient mythology, it is said, Adhyapaka, Pandita, Acharya, then the guru. Adhyapaka is Upadhyaya. Basically, Upadhyaya, Pandita, Acharya, then Guru. We are into stage of Upadhyaya. Maybe you are associate professor, assistant professor, or senior professor, whatever it is. Ask yourself, have you reached at least Pandita? Have you reached Acharya? Have you reached Guru now? That is a real promotion that we need to look for. Upadhyaya means what? Somebody who is very close to Adhyaya, who studies. So understand these basic dimensions. Maybe next time we meet, we can discuss more. Okay, I love to talk to all of you. Okay, I just want to share what happened in my life and make you to understand. That helped me. Okay, I said I'll quote you one little instance that happened in my life. Okay, We can learn from anybody. One Sunday morning, I wanted to have a haircut. You can see me, no hairs, but still I wanted to have a haircut. Clear? So I went to my regular barber, but that shop was closed. Because we have attachments, na, our barber, our beauty parlor. Only when she does eyebrow, then it is good. Otherwise, nobody else. This is our feeling. Okay, so like that barber, and in that barber shop, that barber only should do this. Otherwise, somewhat you feel you are missing something. But I need to go to some other shop. I mean, because I travel a lot, only Sunday I had. So next day I was to go to Jindal, okay, JSW for training. So I was to take a haircut. So went to one more barber shop near Haidar Naka in Darbad. Okay, and I sat there for some time because there was a rush. Then my turn came. I sat on the chair. Then that barber asked me, ಯೂಸಲಿ ಅವ್ರು ಕೇಳ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ನಾಗ ಹೇಳೋದು ಬಹಳ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ ಬಟ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ರೈಟ್ ಸೊ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿ ಹೌ ಡು ಐ ಮೇಕ್ ಎ ಕಟ್ ಸರ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದೆನ್ ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಎ ಡಿಸ್ಗ್ರೇಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಮೀ ಲೈಕ್ ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ ನೋ ಹೇರ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಹೆಡ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಬಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಸ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ವಾಟ್ ಸ್ಟೈಲ್ ಹೌ ಟು ಕಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಐ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಕಟ್ ಎ ಜೋಕ್ ಐ ಸೆಡ್ ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ ನೋ ಹೇರ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ದಿ ಹವೆವರ್ ಯು ಡೂ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಓಕೆ ನೀ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿ ಹಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊ ದಿಸ್ ವಾಸ್ ಮೈ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸ್ ego, there was ego in me. Okay, then this comment made everybody to laugh. Pura ella waiting list, those people who are into the waiting list, they were all laughed, and he also laughed. Barber also laughed. Then he bent towards me and he said, sir, can I tell you something? I said, please tell, because I was in a joyous mood. Everybody, because I am a trainer, I made everybody to laugh. Unknown people laughed, and I said something great. That was my ego. Then he said, sir, can I tell you something? I said, go ahead, please tell. You should not mind us, sir. Sir, bejar madkolbedi. Please, na ಹೇಳ್ತೇನೆ. Bolo. You tell me. Then he said, ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೇನೆ, ಇದು ಭಾರಿ ಮಜಾ ಆಯ್ತಿತ್ತು. ಸರ್, ಹೋಗಿದ್ದರು ಸಲುವಾಗಿ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾಕೆ ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಕೊಡವಲ್ರಿ? ಏನಂದ ಸರ್ ಅವನು? So why don't you respect what you are? English na ಹೇಳೋದು ಬಹಳ ಕಷ್ಟ ಇರ್ತಾವಲ್ಲ, ರೈಟ್? ಕನ್ನಡ ಸರ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿರಿ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್, ಭಾರಿ ಮಜಾ ಬರ್ತದೆ, ರೈಟ್? ಸರ್ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳಿದ ಅವನು? ಹೋಗಿದ್ರ ಸಲುವಾಗಿ, hey, people who don't understand Kannada, please forgive me for this small instance, right? Because this has to be told in Kannada, but I'll translate in English. ಹೋಗಿದ್ರ ಸಲುವಾಗಿ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾಕೆ ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಕೊಡವಲ್ರಿ? ನನಗೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಏನೋ ಜ್ಞಾನೋದಯ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತ, ನನಗೆ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಐತಲ್ಲ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ನಾವ ಸರ್ ಕೂದ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಕ್ಕೂ ಹಿಂಗ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತೀರಿ ನೀವು. ಎಷ್ಟ್ ಚಂದ ಹೇಳಿದ ನೋಡ್ರಿ ನಾವು ಜಗತ್ತಿನ ಜೀವನ ಲೆಸನ್ ಏನಿತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಲೈಫ್ ಲೆಸನ್? ಕೂದ್ಲಾದ್ರೆ ಹೋಗಿದ್ರ ಸಲುವಾಗಿ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದ ಕಿಮ್ಮತ್ ಕೊಡುದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಜೀವನ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಅದನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿ ನನ್ ಫ್ಲಾಶ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂತ ಹೋದೆ, ಖರೇನ ಇತ್ತದು. ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಯು ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಸರ್? ಸರ್, ಇನ್ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಲೇಷನ್ he said, why don't you respect what you have? ಇದ್ದದಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಕಿಮ್ಮತ್ ಕೊಡವಲ್ರಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, why don't you respect what you have? Just because you lost something, respect the hairs which are staying with you, because they are still connected with you, right? So this was a message from the barber. So why I am telling this, my dear friends, you can learn from anybody here. Be open to it. Don't carry that ego. Okay, ego will kill you. Okay, so thank you so much. I just loved being with you. If there are some questions, and don't expect me to answer all the questions, but still I'll answer whatever possible, right? So be happy, be joyous, and this session also don't take it too heavily now. Now don't think, how do I understand life? No, forget it. Just have that feeling inside, good things will happen. So may God bless you. May you all have good health. Okay, may you all be happy first, then healthy, then successful. Clear? And this should go in this synchrony only, this particular thing only. Don't become successful, then happy and healthy. Nahi hota hai. First is be happy, then be healthy, then be successful. Right? So wish you all the best. Thank you so much. Stay connected. Okay, I'll share my contact things in your WhatsApp group. You can be in touch with me. Okay, let's do something great here. The world needs us now. So thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Shambulingappa sir, Shivram sir, your Vice Chancellor, all these people who made this possible. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for just keeping all of us, almost on toes, because you asked us to stay connected through video, so that the participants don't go away and drift from the main session. Sir, we have a question. how do you feel the role of teacher should be with the student? Do you feel something good student or bad student?
There are no good students and bad students, sir. There are can do students, can't do students, can do with help. There are three kinds of students. Can do students, can't do students, can do with help. So don't bother yourself with can't do students. Can do students, they will not be bothering you. There are third category of students, can do with help. Can you be with them? So simple it is. Don't expect all students to be obedient to you. 4 people at your home, they are not obedient to you. They don't listen to you. Don't forget this. ಮನ್ಯಾಗ 4 ಮಂದಿ ಮಾತು ಹೇಳುದಿಲ್ಲ, 60 ಮಂದಿ ಮಾತು ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬಿ ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ. 60 ಮಂದಿ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನೀ ಸತ್ಯ ಅನ್ನಗದ. ನಮ್ಮ ಬಾಯ ಬರತ್ತ, ಧಾರವಾಡ ಕನ್ನಡ ಬರತ್ತ. ರೈಟ್? ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಧಾರವಾಡ ಕನ್ನಡದ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಮಜಾ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಇದು ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ನಾಗ ಹೇಳೋದು ಬಹಳ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗ್ತದೆ.
No, if AICT or if you get some funding agencies, definitely we'll do it in Kannada also, sir. But
sir, funds don't come in languages, na.
They don't come in languages, but
in all currencies, all languages are there.
Correct, sir. But they have some specifications so that it should reach